I am a sinner. I am also a Christian. I am therefore keenly aware that no human being has earned the right to cast the first stone. My clay feet are inescapable. I try to live from a basis of genuine humility because I have so very much about which to be humble. Concomitant with this, though, is my duty as a Christian, as a man, and as an American to endeavor to speak truth, serve conscience, and stand against evil. Christian love and civic duty require that I not be mute and neutral when faced with matters of right and wrong. I believe we are each called to take sides. Today, as our civilization teeters on the brink, we could drown in the rising tide of controversy. I cannot think of any area of life that does not have enemies within clamoring for the West to destroy itself in shame over what they say we have done. Simultaneously, there are outside forces hungering for our decrepitude, enslavement, or outright destruction. The scope of these two types of attacks on Judeo-Christian Western civilization is staggering. It is traumatic to have every powerful voice mobilized to tell us that we ourselves are the world's chief problems. In fact, our demoralization is their objective. Confusion to the enemy is an old British war toast. The Greek word for the dark enemy of God literally means confusion through and through. Each and all of these contemporary attacks on our West aim to overwhelm our reason and confuse our certainties. We are to be made insensible to our own conscience and unable to think clearly about effective ways we can serve it. We are not faced, as we were in the Cold War, with a monolithic creed that intends to replace what we hold dearest in life. Instead, there is a cacophony of voices raised against our traditions, values, freedoms, and folkways. Many of these hold mutually exclusive ideas. Many hate one another, but be certain they hate us more. Their hatred coalesces this unlikely alliance of LGBTQ activists, Islamist fundamentalists, feminists, transnormatives, academic deconstructivists, Western communists, globalist plutocrats, Chinese communists, anarchists, de-Christianizers, Christian liberation theologians, woke social justice warriors, anti-white racists, Hollywood propagandists, climate activists, teachers' unions, and legacy media moguls. They want to destroy the Western tradition. They want to destroy nothing less than the Judeo-Christian West. With our many denominations, our liberal democracy, our human rights, our freedoms of speech, our liberty of conscience, our free market, our armed citizenry, our traditional gender roles, our national identities, our constitutions, our inspirational myths, and insistence, our absolute insistence on the sanctity and dignity of human life. Our enemies are not interested in negotiating a live and let live peace between us. Their aim is not laissez-faire mutual toleration with a genuine diversity of peaceably coexisting faiths. Despite their babble of mutually exclusive utopias, they are each in their own way religious zealots whose fervor will usher in our apocalypse. These millenarians see our world as irredeemably evil. They see the growing peace, prosperity, freedom, and population ushered in by the post-1945 Pax Americana as the devil's work. This world will be cleansed by the holy fire of their convictions after our society is burned to ash. Their proverbial 1,000 years of peace will be all that remains. For their new Jerusalem to be born, the West must die. In service to such a purpose, any means are justified. Our domestic and foreign enemies will enthusiastically lie, cheat, steal, seduce, deceive, imprison, and murder without shame, without restraint. Only their monomaniacal unscrupulousness can forge true paradise on earth. Nothing must stand in their way. This is why grown men are cheered when they dress as transvestites and shake their privates in the faces of children. This is why free expression must be called misinformation so that only their message can be heard. This is why our own wealthiest citizens are using their influence to destroy the very way of life that brought them such success. This is why our security agencies have been unleashed against us as a Gestapo. This is why our culture is deteriorating in decadence. This is why our schools ardently steal the hope and truth from innocence. This is why all of it. We must answer their fanaticism with courage, their lies with truth, their vanity with humility, their zealotry with mercy, their subjectivity with objectivity, their willfulness with faith, their excesses with restraint, their anxiety with trust, and their unscrupulousness with integrity. We must answer their hatred courageously and boldly with God's love.